Hello everyone. Now we have done the color correction. I would like to introduce one more thing before we move on to another tool or another technique, which is the using some part. I'm going to color correct based on only one part on my image, and let's assume this part is these guys that they're turning into very dark and I'm losing details here. So I would like to go and fix that. So here in your opacity, in the opacity here, you can use one of the free drawer tools, the free drawer, the pen tool, or the rectangle or the oval shape tool. I'm going to use the pen tool, and I'm going just to click, just small clicks, as you can see, around these guys. Okay, just to have these guys, okay, ready. So I have them masked, all right, and whatever I'm going to do, it will be applied on this mask. I need to go window and go back to Lumetri scopes. I need the Lumetri scopes. And here in the Lumetri scopes, you need two things. You need the Parade RGB and you need the Vector scope YUV. And I think in the Parade, you need to make sure that you are choosing the RGB. In the Parade type, you need to make sure you're using the RGB. And these are the colors as they are in my scene here. This is the blue. How much is the blue? And here it's important to point at three concepts here when you're working with curves and colors and color corrections. The 100 to 80, almost this part, we call it the highlight. This part that I am circling around, we call it the highlights. From 80 to 60 or 70, or from 70, the middle age from 70 to 40, the middle parts here, we call it the midtones. And the dark side is down there, all right? We call it the shadows. So highlights, midtones, and shadows, all right? As you can see, most of my colors are concentrated where? In the shadows, and maybe the red goes a little bit up in the midtone. This is how I read my colors. And of course, I have this circle that tells me where the colors are, and as you can see, I have some grouping in the yellow and the magenta, and I'm sorry, in the blue and the magenta and red, and that's what I have for my image. So how to fix this? I will have to go to my curves, the one I have, which is RGB curves, which is very precise tool. And using the curves here, as you can see, I'm dealing with the with the dark areas, the shadows. Similarly, if you go to the upper part on any of these curves, if you go to the upper part, which is this one that I'm circling around, this part, we call it, then you are controlling the highlights. The middle part, then you are controlling. If you manipulate this part, then you are controlling the midtones. And you manipulate this part, then you are controlling what? You are controlling the shadows. So of course, my image here is concentrated in the shadows, so I will be dealing with the shadows. See, I would like, ideally, again, that the colors, the three colors are on the same level. They are average, so I have fully saturated equal colors, but that's not always the case. So I will try to do my best. I go here and push this down a little bit. As you can see, look at the image, what's happening here. When I push this down, you see, yeah, the red goes down, and as you can see, the concentration, look at here also, here, let me do it again, the concentration of the colors are going to the right place, to the center, looks okay. So this is fine. And let's see for the yellow. Let's push the yellow down a little bit. But okay. And for the green, so as you can see, I'm going to reduce the green also a little bit, just to have everything where it is. All right. So let's get rid of the mask. Let's go up there and click on this mask and press delete to get rid of it. And that's the image as I have it now. maybe I would like, I color corrected only this area, but however, color correction is applied on the old image, on all the image. So let's see the results before and after and see if this is good results for me or not. So that's the image here. Okay, let's go for the, click on these balls and hide this. This is very yellow. This is okay. And this is very pale. And this is more dramatic and more color saturated. Let's go to another scene where the guys are here. Again, it looks okay, but this is more dramatic, more cinematic, and it's more saturated and more color corrected. It gives you the scene, and again, you can play with the highlights of your scene or the saturation of your scene. If you want to get rid of this master thing, which deals with everything, with all the lights, not the colors. The master curve here deals with the lights, not the curves. You can play with it and also monitor your, maybe I can get rid of it. If you want to get rid of any of these posts, I clicked it by mistake. You click on it, hold down the mouse key and drag it out of the curve. Same thing here, click out and drag it out of the curves. Same thing here and drag it out of the curve. Maybe this is better color correction. Maybe I'm going to use the saturation as it is like here, just to show, maybe I just need the lighting part. Maybe this lighting part needs to be saturated, or the whole environment. The beautiful thing about master is that it studies everything, every single part of your image, and it makes it better. Okay, I think this is a little bit desaturated, so let's get rid of the middle one, and let's go here and increase the saturation a little bit. Okay, so this is the last thing in the advanced color correction, using the masks just to focus on one area and fix this area according to the lumetri scopes and the Luma RGB and the vertical scope that is identical to this color cycle here. The color cycle is identical. You see, I have the magenta, I have the green, I have the yellow, I have the blue. They are all the same as they are here. It's just a translation of this map, and the ideal standard is to have everything focused here. Of course, this cannot always happen, because sometimes you have in the natural view you have colors that are like here in the gold colors. It's all yellows, so that's fine. So this is it. And yeah, one more thing here in the hue saturation, you can even change the coloring environment of the whole scene by playing with this hue angle. If I'm going to change this angle, let me go just hover around beneath it. You see, I'm changing the color environment. This is very vampirish thing. Okay, this is the hue angle. I'm changing the color, the referencing of the color environment. The wheel of the color is changing now to whatever. Let's put this back to 0, because I don't want to do that. But this is how you can still play with your color environment in a very effective way.